Hey everybody, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is the high probability watch list for the week of July 11th. We just finished out a great week. Very excited to go over some great trades, and well, as we close at the highs, if you reviewed last week's watch list and even the market radar, I was expecting this move up here and us to take out the all-time highs soon. This is just part of the process. It looks great. The whole thing with the Brexit was a big flash fake out, and basically, you know, for me, looking at the situation, in my opinion, which I kind of went over with you on the last couple videos, is that, yeah, you know, the European Union has some issues. You know, that's their issue. We've gone through our issues. Things are looking really good here, and money's going to come over into our stocks, and they're going to buy some quality names, and these names have been being bought up here, and it's just been a fantastic trade. Now, we took a lot of profits today, but I actually have a very good watch list for you, an unbelievable watch list. You're going to be pretty excited about this. We're going to do a little review of what has been working, why we got into certain stocks and why we're getting out of certain stocks. You know, we'll go into a little market radar, and then we'll go over to the watch list. All right. So just again, taking a look at today's trade. It all started off back here with the Brexit sell-off, and then the reversal. Now, the reversal and the Brexit sell-off caused us to have that lane divergence, where we have a series of lower lows, and then a higher low here. So this low here represented between the last time the stochastics rotated back down, right here off the 50, we kind of bounced up a little, and then rotated back down fast with the stochastics, but the price really dropped hard, taking out a lower low there. And when you have a lower low and you have a higher low, that is our go-to indicator of you know, better get in, or you're going to miss the train. And this is why I did not want to take any shorts this week. I did not want to really push that button and saying, hey, I'm expecting a big sell-off here, because I'm not. I'm expecting this market to continue to rally. I mean, we're going to have our pullback days. We're going to have our days where news comes out. But overall, I'd see money flowing back into this market. We just have to take opportunities when they come to us. We can't chase too much, because you know, soon, maybe even next week, we'll be taking out all-time highs. We are extended. We're extended on the daily. We're extended on the hourly. And you know, normally it's hard to go into something new when we typically go into something new when we're oversold on the 60 and a combination of daily. That gives us our nice move up. And if you're looking at a rotation, and lots of times where the shorts work out, it's the opposite. You know, you're looking at a rotation back down and a pullback. So, you know, we're extended here, but I'm still not recommending any shorts at this point. You know, I would you know, have your fun and games if you're going to try to time this market, but be very careful and understand this is a strong market. Market here, money coming into our markets. You know, again, the European Union going to the Brexit, the situation and everything that's there is bringing money over into our markets, and I can just see this continuing. So let's go over a couple of the trades we've had this week. Now, we've traded a lot today. I have to let me bring everything up on my screen over here so we can kind of catch up on everything. I'm just going to go back and show you some of the setups. Now, I posted some of these on Twitter today because it's a Friday and I'm behind the scenes and Paul's on the mic. So if you you know, I normally don't post these, but Laboratory Core, I see that Lady Di took profits on this. We're trying to surround ourselves with some really positive names, and this was a really nice one. We had this divergence, what we call double bottom divergence, and even you can see that turn back up here. That really gave us this nice push, and this one being so strong, and you know, such you know, stock that was pushing at all-time highs. We just got in and it ran. I took it off today right at the highs. We just took it off right before the close. Got 4.5 points on it. 4.5 points. So, and it's still a great stock. You know, I would still concentrate on the pullbacks and stuff. You know, but right now this is the perfect time to take profits. We did take profits on that. The Palo Alto Networks, PANW, which will continue to be on the watch list. But I had such good profits in it today, and it was just such a big rip at the end of the day. I wanted to take it off, and then next week here, probably get into another position a little bit further out on the options. But this looks great. I expect this one to actually continue to push higher. We actually had a divergence. We had to cross back up. We had the trade. Everything worked out fine with this. You know, I doubled down on it today, and then it went up another $1. So we took profits off of it. It's still active. You know, it is active. It's one of our HPS setups. So I'm going to continue to look for that profit to be attained on the on that setup, and I'll go over that during the members portion of the video. But this is still up there as a great setup. Gilead. We had some Gilead that we took off today, and this is another focus sector that we're going to be paying attention to next week, and we're going to be discussing this more a little bit later. This is really important to pay attention to these drug stocks next week. I'll just give you that little clue. All right, and then I'll talk more about it again on the second part of the video. But Gilead and a whole bunch of drug stocks could be primed to go big time up. All right, so get ready for this. I have some good setups on this, but I did take profits on our latest trade on Gilead. We only had 2 contracts left. We had about 4 or 5 earlier in the week. I've been scaling out, and these last 2 we just locked them in, and it was another $500-600 just on a contract that we got for $1 and change, and we sold them at 3 and change. And it's off a divergent setup. It's off of our key levels. I mean, it feels good to be in this market when you wait and have the patience that you need to have to get into good positions. So again, these are all part of the watch list the last couple weeks. So we took off the Gilead, but the Gilead continues to remain on the watch list for next week, and I'll go over that in a little bit. Now, let's see what else we had. The Palo Alto, Apple. You know, a lot of people asking me about the Apple. Apple here starting to move up. Love the Apple on the divergence there. It's pushing higher. It's not the Apple of old. It's it's an Apple that doesn't move as fast as we'd like to move, but there's a big pattern here that I like. And let me just check something here fast. All right, yeah. I like how we're holding this double bottom. We'll even call it a triple bottom inside the downward channel. Should make a move up out of this. Now, again, we're extended on the daily, kind of extended on the hourly. Things get a little shaky up here because we don't usually initiate new positions when our signals are up like this. But it does still look good, and I still expect it to get back above $100. So I'm still holding my Apple calls going into next week. We sold Yahoo, nice profit, $2 profit on Yahoo. And let's see here, what else we have here? Apple, CBS. We saw the CBS. We sold this. It was another nice divergence channel setup. The breakdown, the pushback up, and you know what? I want to show you some things, especially for those out there not members of Day Trading Radio. We have a very organized way of tracking our stocks and on our HPS watch list here. The HPS watch list consists of a very strict criteria of indicators lining up to give us these levels. And what I normally do is, an example of like the Packaging Corp this week. You'll get the chart in the video watch list. You'll get my commentary with that on the video watch list. We talk about why we like this, and then you'll have this, and this gets all programmed into the back end of Day Trading Radio. And when you don't have to be logged in or anything, but if you do, take the trade, you have to know that if our trade hits our buy zone or our profit zone or our stop, you'll get automatically alerted to that. So if we get into a position, recommended position here 67 to 66, and when that triggers, even if the price is not in that zone at that point, when that price comes down to that zone, it'll trigger, send out an email. I might take a position in it depending on how the market is, and and that email goes out, and that alert goes into the trade alert box on our dashboard, so you can see that your trading platform, and you'll see that, and then that the trade will be active, and then as the buy zone is hit, if the stop hit first, it'll trigger that stop, or if the profit zone gets hit first, it'll trigger the alert on the profit. And as you can see, this one just ripped higher, and we just, it took about 2 days to get into our profit zone. And that's where we are right now. It was a perfect flag. Divergence flags I'll take all the time. That's why I continue to just say, wait for these setups to come to you on the HPS watch list. There's nothing better out there. There is nothing better when you have a good divergence like that. Now, I showed you some things here. You probably could, go back and, see all the ones that that we've been trading. Some of them are still active. The ones that are just green are continue to be active, like the Apple, the Crow. What is this here? The CI, which is interesting. We'll talk about that. The Biogen, Palo Alto Networks, the KSU, and the new ones that are going on there. The ones with the gold mark or the yellowish gold area, they hit its target. That stock or that setup hit its target, like JBHT today, which was on the watch list from last week. Perfect setup here, and it still actually looks great, and it's going to be actually on a bigger list coming up. But again, you can see we had the divergence. I like this downward channel, because I felt the market was going higher this week. I took these a lot as buy setups, a breakout of the setup, and as you can see, that's what happened today. We hit our profit zone today. The alert went out, the email went out, and people took profits. So the list continues to get updated each week. So that's a couple of those setups. And again, once you have access to the back end as a member, you can go through all those. And I like to just recommend coming back to them too. Like if you have an old setup here, you have an old setup, and you say, well, I'm interested in the PX again, or Kroger or something like that. It was on the list a while ago. Why was it on the list? Maybe Johnny has a good trend line or something that's there. So let's take Micron. And even though Micron was kind of a different one because it's such a cheap stock, actually it's not a good representation of that. If you take a look at the Micron, this is an old setup that we like down here off, and this is what we call that retracement trend line buy zone. It moved up here, hit our profit zone, and the chart remains active. It will always continue to update, so you could actually go back and look at it and say, wow, let me take a look. Maybe it comes back down to a support line. It actually came back down to that 51 level, pushed back up to the buy level again. So you could gain some knowledge from reviewing some of these setups on the HPS watch list. Recent setups, because they have some good notes on them also. All right, here's an active one. I figured I'll give you that one free active one. Maybe you'll get a couple other freebies later, but this Biogen here is still active. And again, we just put it on the watch list. Our stop is at 236. The green area represents that buy zone, which it was active this week, early Monday. We sent out the alert. As you see, it's moving up into our profit. It's not at the profit zone yet, but this is still active, and I expect this to hit its profit zone next week. And again, this will actually be on the different portion of the watch list later on, because I have a bigger target for this. Here's another interesting setup I sent out a couple weeks ago, and lots of times I'll talk about the notes you could get on these charts. You can see the previous setups. Lots of times you'll see previous setups, so you just look for the latest one. Now this area was a good downward wedge pattern. What we normally look for here, you can see the stochastic oscillator down here. It hasn't gotten oversold yet. We're making kind of a double bottom. So I put a note in here, watch for this divergence in case our entry. So maybe this was a pretty good level to take a shot at this. We also were going to get alerted to it if it actually came down to the lower part of the wedge pattern. So we had two triggers here, and you can actually see, for those who took this one, you can actually see we rebounded up, and we actually moved right up into our buy zone. And then after that, we had some news on it. It actually came down and tagged the buy zone last week, and I just want to point it out because it was still active. And it tagged it, and then boom, it just reacted to it. It was really nice. It ended up being a nice little, kind of a wedge pattern channel breakout, retracement to the trend line, and then a push back up. So again, sometimes these are worth going over. Continue to watch them. Lots of these stocks, we just wait for them to reset up and end up on the watch list multiple times. But that's what we talked about today. Now, we go back to the overall markets, and you're going to say, well, wow, you know, that type of setup requires certain things to happen. We need our rotations to happen. We need to have a divergence set up here. You know, what gives us a good reason? When's the next good opportunity? Here's that Starbucks, you know. So you can see that divergence here, this kind of double bottom divergence, and we pushed up out of it, dropped back down to trendline retracement, and then pushed back up. But as you can see, we're kind of extended here. So we have to be careful and not chasing too much. So back to the S&P here, just to kind of wrap up our market radar section of this. And the market radar here is just taking a look at the next couple trading days and you know, telling you what the charts are really talking about right now. And again, there's not much else to mention other than all-time highs are right above us. We had a tremendous day today, great jobs report. There is situations out there that could shake the foundation of the markets, but that's, you know, that's truly a you know, a surprise when it does happen. If you wake up and there's some kind of event that moves the market, that's just part of you know, part of being a trader. So we can't really count on that. We don't want to trade looking for that. We don't want to, you know, look for bad news. We want to look for the good news. We just want to be able to take the opportunities and take opportunities when they come to you. So in some cases, with the breakout here and us pushing up such a nice day and extended, it might not be a good opportunity for a lot of people to chase this market, like I said. So we're going to wait for an opportunity. We do have some good setups here, though. And this is the important part here. I have two separate watch lists here for the members. I have a special watch list, which I want to go over right now. I think this is really key. I think this is really, really key, so pay attention. And if you're not a member, definitely check it out at DayTraderRadio.com. And you can pick up the rest of the video on that site. We'll start the members video right now.